there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and today we're doing something I'm excited about. I've wanted to try this. I have this idea that I think is going to be pretty cute, and it starts with these little acrylic squares. So I got these from Amazon. I will drop in the link. But what is particularly cool about these is that they actually are perfectly clear like glass. So when you pull the plastic back from both sides, they're perfectly clear. So we're gonna be using those. They're 2 inches by 2 inches. And what we're going to start with is a grid. Now this is a piece of watercolor paper. This end isn't taped off because it's not 2 inches, but I've got 9 squares. Probably not going to use all 9 because not all 9 are going to turn out, but I have extras just in case. And these are a little bit bigger than 2 inches because then I can cut them down. I can move my little acetate, my little acrylic piece where it needs to go. Now, we're gonna do some watercolor painting. I want you to bear in mind, though, you could do this, and what I think is cool about this is that you could take a little 2 by 2 square of any kind of artwork that you do or have done, or maybe artwork that your kids have done, and use that in the rest of this. You'll see where we're going, but then you can substitute it. But you can also substitute pictures of your kids or anything like that. We're going to start with art. And I'm saying that loosely because I'm no watercolor artist, but you know what? It doesn't stop you from having fun. So I am just going to spritz up my watercolors, get them wet and ready to go, and then I'll pull you in. All right, I have a little watercolor brush, and I do have a little plastic plate. It's got some old watercolor on there, but you know, so what? And we're just gonna start by dropping in color. Now, you could do this very specifically as little individual watercolor pieces. You could just swirl color anywhere and everywhere that you want. I'm just going to kind of, this is on dry paper, by the way, so just so that you know, I'm just gonna grab some color and in different intensities and just kind of, this is actually the same color as this, if that gives you any indication here. Just, this was washed out. This is kind of like full intensity. And we'll just kind of see where we go. So, you know, you get to play however you'd like with whatever images, colors that you have in mind. And I think that that's the beauty of something like this is that, oh, that's not what I intended at all, and that's okay too, but you're a big blob. So let's just switch you out a little bit here. Okay, better. Yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason here. I'm just kind of looking at some squiggles, some you know, things that might be a little bit more exact. I don't know. We're just getting color down. And to start, that's all that we want to do. We're not doing anything particularly magical here. We're just getting color down. So, you know, I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm just going to continue to play. My little pictures fed overnight to dry, and you can see I added like some little accents here and there with some pen. I mean, you can do whatever you want. And as I said, you can take maybe artwork or paintings that you've done that you don't like, that didn't quite work out, or maybe some jelly prints, and you're just looking for that little square. So usually you might not like maybe the whole painting, but there's a 2-inch square that you love. And then this is perfect for that. You could do this over top of, you know what, maybe like a magazine picture that you like, or you have an old postcard, or your kids' artwork, or pictures of your children. You have so many options once you see where we're going here. So what we are going to do is we're going to take our little discs. I have not peeled anything off of them yet, so that I don't scratch them. And I'm going to take, you know, I can still kind of see through it. So I'm going to take kind of my favorite 2-inch square part, and I'm going to take an X-Acto knife, and I am just going to trim around it. Once you have your squares cut out, just simply peel off the backing on one side of your little acrylic squares and decoupage them down onto your cut paper. This kit that had all of these pre-cut little acrylic toppers also comes with pre-cut little magnets, because this is designed as fridge magnets. So what's nice, once they're separated, is that these are nice and thin. Look how thin that is. It's very sticky on the backing, and it's already pre-cut to size so that we're able to adhere that down. Now, I haven't removed the top layer of plastic, so I need to do that. So you can see how nice and clear that is. And that can be our fridge magnet. We could stop here. So if you've done pictures of the kids, whatever, and you want to just use it like this, cool, you're good to go. I'm going to take it one step further, of course, but it gives you options then. So you could be done, or we can carry on. I'm just going to get the magnets all adhered to this because I want them in place before the next step. And then I also want a rubber mat, and then we'll be back. All right, you can see up here, this is where we're going. I am taking trimmings molds, and I am molding out some trimming here. So I'm just using some air-dried clay, and I just need 1 and a bit for most of these. So I just want my mold just kind of nice and smooth, good edge. So whatever trimmings molds you have are fine, right? There's no magic to this. And we're just going to create little frames around each of our pictures. There we go. So let's grab one. And we're just going to, now you could do this so that they're square, right? That you have, you do top and bottom, and then top and bottom. I'm just kind of angle cutting them. So taking just straight out from the corners, just more like a picture frame would be. And just working around all of my edges. So this is where you can see that I said, oh, we'd need 1 and a bit of our molds. So for each frame, do 2 of your trimmings, and then you'd have plenty. And then all we're going to do is glue those together. So I have it on the rubber because there's going to be glue that seeps to the underside, and this way it's going to be kind of contained. So the first thing that I do is I just kind of take a palette knife with some very thick wood glue, and just, you know, thicker glue kind of works better. And I just want to put this around all my edges. All right, and then I'm going to put glue on the edges of my clay pieces. So you have the piece that goes against the frame, and then the corner pieces, and then we're going to leave it to dry. Now, the one thing that I did do is, depending upon how much glue is on there, once these are all stuck together, I do kind of clean up the glue a little bit so that it's not globby. And then if there are gaps, so just right in here, right? There's a little bit of a globbiness. So I just take my X-Acto knife and I kind of smooth it out. And I just think that's easier while it's wet than to try cutting it away when it's dry. When it's done, and I want to move it off to the side to dry, I can just kind of slide it. I don't have to be picking it up. The last little piece that I'm doing is I am going around with them. I left one plain so that we have it as a comparison, but I'm just kind of pushing them together, and anywhere that I see that there's a little bit of a gap, I'm taking kind of a fine nozzle glue. Now you can either buy it or just put it into a little tube that has a fine nozzle, but I'm filling in some of those gaps with the glue. Because I'm going to be painting these out, then that glue is going to be fine. You're not going to see it, but it's going to help as that glue starts to dry. It's going to help keep those edges together, and it's going to give us a cleaner, smoother finish. And it just means I can come in and just paint tomorrow. So just you know, it's just a little tip. You can do this with any of your molds that will be painted out. Okay, now that these have dried, I'm gonna take a gold paint, and this is just like an Art Deco paint from the craft store. It's not quite as gold as I want, so I am going to, because these are detailed, I'm gonna get them painted out first and take a look, and then we'll see about doing some waxing and see how we feel about that. It's kind of a nice soft gold though. We have the one unframed one, and I painted one black. These three gold, because I want to show you options, right? You get the idea of the frames now. Certainly you can paint them silver, white, gold, anything that you want. So I just want to show kind of a little bit of the difference. So this is a little bit of a gold wax. You could do a gilding wax, but I'm just doing this over the top of the black one to give you an idea of being able to use this to kind of highlight some of the details. Because there's a little bit of black in our picture here, and so we could kind of get away with maybe a starker frame, but you know, you could go navy. I just happen to have black open, black sitting out on my desk here, so it was easiest. But you can do a little bit of gilding wax, and you've got that. Now, these are lovely just as they are. We could take like, you know, another gold gilding wax, two-tone it, gold on gold. We could do a little bit of the bronze over the top. Just looking at the brush, what have I got on there? So we could do a little bit of the bronze and just kind of drag that over those dots a little bit, just to highlight them a little bit more. So I'll show you. That's where we've done the bronze, and then none, right? So it stays a little bit lighter. We'll keep one all just plain gold, and then maybe instead of the black with the gold, we do, well, you've got paint on you now. Let's dip you in wax. We could do a little bit of black wax. So with this, we're putting that wax down in, but ultimately, let me do two sides to show you. We're going to take a cloth. I'm going to wipe it away from the top, revealing that gold. So you can see the difference with a little bit of the black and then just the plain gold. We do need to even it out now, but you have a lot of different ways that you can go with your frames, and certainly the little trimmings molds makes it easy, but it gives you a lot of options in terms of your finished look. Okay, so we started with just this little boxed kit from Amazon, which has the acrylic, clear acrylic plates. It has the pre-cut magnets, all in 2-inch squares. And I love the idea that you can take maybe your kid's artwork and just cut out a 2-inch square and make it into, you know, just a little magnet that's going to be able to sit onto your fridge, or their school pictures, or, you know, little memories. But you can also then take those same squares and you can frame them in whatever way makes sense, so that you have little pictures that are your magnets and that sit on, oh, you go this way, that sit on your fridge. So lots of options with this. I think it's super fun. I think kids would enjoy this, and picking out what pictures go into it and making magnets. I think that they make super cute little gifts for grandparents too. Maybe to add into a Christmas stocking, or just, you know, a little memento, whatever makes sense to you. I think that this little kit, cute way to go. And it's not very expensive. I'll drop the link just to make it easier to find for you. But you can also, you know, buy a sheet of that acrylic, cut it down to size and things if you want. I just went for easy. They've got nice rounded corners. It just saved me doing that stuff. But, you know, I was going for fast and easy. Let me know what you think of this one, guys. Love to hear from you. As always, I'm going to go put them on my fridge here and see if anybody notices. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.